Good morning and welcome to the Daily Light Devotion. And today I'm recording for the 19th of June. I hope all of you have had a wonderful Wednesday and looking forward to a beautiful Thursday. Today I'm going to be talking from Acts. We're going to continue in Acts 5, verses 17 to 32. Um, and we are going to look at obedience over opposition. So the early church continues to grow. The apostles face increasing persecution, hostility from religious authorities. But instead of backing down, they demonstrate fearless obedience. Today what we're going to cover shows us what happens when we walk with God and His will. Opposition is inevitable, but so is God's divine intervention. The call is clear: obey God no matter what the cost is. So, verses 17 and 18 talks about jealousy leads to persecution. Then the high priest rose up, filled with indignation, and laid their hands on the apostles and put them in the common prison. So basically, they can beat them actually, right? The religious leaders reacted not with humility, and that's a sign that you're religious, but with jealousy at the apostles' influence. They arrested them, imprisoned them, attempted to supplement the movement. When God uses you, don't we don't need to be surprised if people envy us and opposition follows. Verses 19 to 21a, God opens the door no man can shut. But at night, an angel of the Lord opened the prison's doors and said, "Go stand in the temple and speak to the people with all the words of this life." God responds to the unjust imprisonment by sending an angel to deliver the apostles. The angels doesn't tell them to flee, but to go right back and preach publicly. When you are in God's will, prison doesn't hold us back, right? And silence is not an option, remember. Verses 21b to 26, the boldness of obedience of the freed. They entered the temple early in the morning and taught. The officers did not find them in the prison, and they came and told basically the high priest. The apostles didn't go right back to their mission preaching. Actually, they went back right to their mission of preaching openly, early, and obediently. The authorities were baffled and embarrassed when they found the prison was locked but empty. Rather than retreat, the apostles advanced with boldness. And obedience is just not about escape, it's about returning to the mission God has given us, right? And verses 27 to 29 say, "When we obey God, not man, did, did we not strictly command you not to teach in his name?" But Peter and other apostles answered and said, "We ought to obey God rather than man." That is a powerful, powerful statement, which is true even today. The high priest confronts them for disobeying orders and spreading their message. Peter speaks for all the apostles. Obedience to God outweighs human commands. The world may threaten you, but the voice of God must be louder than the voices of those of fear, right? And verses 30 to 32, the unshakable message. The God of our fathers raised up Jesus, whom God has exalted to his right hand, and we are his witness, and so also is the Holy Spirit. And Peter again proclaims the gospel clearly here. Jesus was crucified, raised, and exalted. Their obedience is not based on courage alone, but on what they know and have seen and what the truth is. The Holy Spirit also testifies through the words and miracles. So, obedience flows from knowing Jesus personally and being filled with the Holy Spirit. Now, what are some of the life applications here? We expect opposition when we obey God, right? We shouldn't be surprised. Following Jesus leads to resistance. Jesus also told us that, right? He said that they're not coming against you, they're coming against me. So we need to have that perspective when people are coming against us. Spiritual progress often stirs spiritual backlash, remember. We need to trust God to make a way. If God opens a door, no man can shut it. Even the prison walls can't stop his plan in our lives. Right? We need to speak boldly, live faithfully. The apostles didn't hide, they spoke up. Let our lives reflect the courage that comes from the Holy Spirit. Obedience is greater than approval. The fear of man can silence us, but the fear of God will empower us. We need to choose to please Him above all. What I want to end with this encouragement. God honors those who obey him boldly, remember. Like the apostles, we may face pressure to be silent, but heaven back us up when we will back us up when we stand firm. Heaven will back us up, right? If you we know the truth and speak it, God gives us a mission and to pursue it, and he will open doors which we need. No man can open. We don't need to trust God for that. Or we don't need to trust man for that. We need to trust God for that. All right, correction. But we need to understand that God is with us. And if He's given us something to say, we are not going to mince it. We are going to be bold enough because the Holy Spirit is there and whole of heaven is backing us up. Have a wonderful Thursday, and I will see you tomorrow. God bless you.